Fragmentum activity is intensifying. Something's happening on Jarilo-VI. Shouldn't we go down there, Himiko?
Have faith in them. Besides, this is her first trailblazing expedition. How will she be able to look back fondly without a few twists and turns? Are you bored, Welt? I understand. But we have lots of opportunities ahead of us. Let's leave the memories of this expedition for them.
So you think they'll be safe, right?
Yes. We haven't seen any Eon or Emanator level imaginary reactions. Relax. This is a young person's adventure. We shouldn't interfere. At most, we could offer a little off-site assistance.
Is this the Fragmentum Gepard was talking about?
Serval said that the Stellaron was very likely hidden in the snow plains north of Belobog. If we want to get there, I'm afraid we'll have to find the exit to this Fragmentum maze first.
Guys, does this place feel weird to you? It feels like there are loads of eyes staring at us.
This place makes my flesh crawl. Like there are insects under my skin.
That's Bronya! Huh? Is that Cocolia too?
No, it isn't them. It must be a kind of echo? Some type of residual energy replicated by the Fragmentum.
Which means they were definitely here, right? And it looks like they went that way.
Just in time. We had no idea which direction to take. Let's go.
You still haven't told me what this place is, Mother.
700 years ago, this was Belobog's northern border, and the site of an ancient battle. Here is where Elisa Rand led the first Silvermane Guards in resistance against the Legion. Don't let its fragmented appearance fool you, Bronya. On the day the promise is fulfilled, these ruins will become the breeding ground of a new world.
Mother, do you truly believe the Stellaron's promise? It summoned the blizzard beyond our walls and opened the door of the Fragmentum. It destroyed our civilization.
And yet, the crime of our ancestors was their inability to embrace that destruction sooner. From the moment those intruders descended from beyond the sky, this world was handed a death sentence. But the Stellaron has reserved for us a thread of hope. There is a price to pay for new life, wiping away every decaying vestige of the old world, renouncing the meaningless and lingering struggle. This is the price the Stellaron demands.
Are these echoes too?
Yes. The Fragmentum here seems to have made a special connection with Cocolia. It's repeatedly generating forms in her image.
I don't understand. Even if the truth is as you say, every generation of Guardian has resisted the call of the Stellaron.
Do you still not see, Bronya? There is no right or wrong here. Some of them acted out of human pride, others out of human short-sightedness. They spent lifetimes writing songs of praise that lauded the bravery of humanity, but couldn't spare the time to gaze up into the stars. To those entities of greater magnificence in the heavens above, 1,000 years is but a passing moment. The attainments of insignificant beings, nothing more than a footnote.
But Klipoth, the Preservation, are they not one of the magnificent entities you speak of? Is it not their strength that has sheltered Belobog this entire time?
The Preservation. Has the Preservation ever looked humanity in the eye? Nothing more than an arrogant delusion of the architects.
Look, Bronya and Cocolia's echoes. They must have come through here.
I sense that we're very near to the northern snow plains.
This is where the first Guardian led the Silvermane Guards into battle. She made huge sacrifices for the sake of temporary respite. But the otherworldly legion did not tire. She soon realized that flesh and blood could not contend with so ruthless an enemy. When all was nearly lost, she chose to set her sights on the Stellaron and made the first wish. As for what came later, you know as well as I.
So, the eternal freeze was a disaster brought about by a human wish?
Ironic, no? All the Stellaron did was answer humanity's call, and yet we kept its existence a closely guarded secret for centuries. Even going so far as to attempt to use it to control the Stellaron. Woeful. Laughable.
Those stairs. It's the only way forward.
Wherever they lead, it must be the end of the journey.
This means that Bronya is up ahead. And so is the fate of the overworld and the underworld. It's all in our hands.
The Express has traveled world after world. We are merely passing travelers. Witnesses to part of a grander story. We invariably avoid getting drawn into turbulence that can decide the fate of a world. But there are always times when we have no choice but to act.
Or to put it another way, this is one heck of a first trailblazing expedition. You hit the jackpot. It's freezing here. The blizzard's so fierce. The power from the Trailblaze path isn't enough to stop the cold.
It means that we're getting closer to the Stellaron, and the heart of the Eternal Freeze.
Did the architects build this?
Very different from the uniform style of the buildings we saw in the city.
Does it look like the palm of a huge hand to you?
No.
Do not resist, Bronya. Accept the common will.
No! I don't want this.
Look upon their promised future, Bronya. A world without poverty, without cold, without suffering. A world where people no longer have to pray like prisoners for survival. A world that we can guard for all eternity. Why, when faced with irrefutable strength, is our first thought always to resist? To cover our ears instead of hearing the call? It is the conceit and cowardice entrenched in the depths of human nature, so difficult to efface. Cast them aside. Break free of the chains that bind you. The Stellaron will lead humanity to evolve, and they will.
Your brainwashing ends here, you witch!
Zila?
You came. I thought the blizzards had entombed you.
You wish! We're not going down before you do. Bronya! I don't know what happened between you and them. Even if you explained it to me, I probably wouldn't understand all the crazy details. But there are two things I do know. One, these guys have come through hell to get here, to seal this Stellaron thing. And two, do you remember what I said? If anything happened to you, I'd save you. Do you understand? Even if the damage is done, even if you've completely forgotten our promise, then I'm just gonna have to knock you out and bring you back myself.
Zila. All of you.
Finished? I think I've given you long enough to bid farewell. It's time I told you my other reason for bringing you here, Bronya. I want to witness your choice. I have told you all the truths there are to tell. The deal with the Stellaron, the wish I made to it, There are no more secrets between us. Many years ago, the voice of the Stellaron sounded in my ears for the first time. I was no different from the previous generations of Guardians. I withdrew, refused to hear. I was as you are now, bitterly defending the Architect's so-called preservation. My conviction was once steadfast, unparalleled. Until a sudden change arrived and threw everything into chaos. Another choice appeared before me. A subversion of the old order, and the welcoming of a new world. And compared to the illusory, ever more distant preservation, this was so tangible. I have agonized, long agonized over how to convey all this to you. Inevitably, the promised tomorrow will transpire. But if you were not there beside me to watch over that new world, then I would descend into torment. Bronya. Enduring torment. Perhaps I should be thanking you, outsiders. The pressure you have imposed has at long last compelled me to confront my final weakness. Bronya, throughout your life, I have never forced you to submit to my will. You have always, will always have a choice. As then, so now. Choose, my daughter.
Madame Cocolia, I am grateful to you for raising me and for allowing me the privilege of choice. But I am sorry, Mother. On this, our final occasion, I cannot stand with you. You say that conceit and cowardice lie in the depths of human nature. Perhaps you're right. Desperation sheds a light on the darkest recesses of the heart. What about those simply struggling for survival, fighting for something better? I've witnessed their light on the front lines, in the underworld, in places you have overlooked. Our ancestors built this city, striving in the bitter snow to prolong our civilization. Even if this world is doomed to fall apart, we should allow humanity to pave the way to its final outcome. Not hand over our fate to this seed of ruin. We are guardians, Mother, chosen from among the masses. Our duty is to preserve the world built by humanity. We are not gods. We are not arbiters. You seek to crush human nature underfoot while masquerading as an arbiter and a god. I cannot let you.
So, this is your choice. I understand, Bronya. Pity. Such a pity that you will never see that resplendent world. Unable to free yourself from the shackles of your mind. You know what? You were supposed to be the mother of the new world.
The ground! It's shaking! What's happening?
That sign.
The fate of this city, of Belobog, is sealed. Its future will unfold in our hands. And you will become the foundation of the new world. You must break the old to build the new. The Supreme Guardian commands you. Rise, engine of creation!
It's one of the Architect's ancient machines! Watch out, all of you!
have to stop it! Oblivion!
How can we bring a giant like this down?
Hello? Can you hear me? Gosh, the signal's terrible.
Himeko, you finally spared a thought for us.
What are you talking about? Weldon, I've been up on the street and you the time. You've got quite the trailblazing mission on your hands. So, how did that guy work? Or, importantly, how do you stop him from working? Over to you guys, I guess.
I'll cover you! Grab hold of me!
Behold, the power granted by them! Listen to the power surge! Sing! The Stellaron's promise is the only hope for this world. Just as it dispelled the Antimatter Legion 700 years ago, so too will it wipe you from the face of this world! Humanity, so weak and foolish, always overestimating their abilities. Let me bestow upon you despair! Is this the universe?
But I was fighting Cocolia. Why am I here? The last time I came here, I drew Nanook's gaze. Could it be?
The commercial district has fallen. We've transferred the residents to the outer municipal districts for the time being. The garrison lost 26 fighters. But
Go on, Japard.
I'm not sure that they're dead. I saw their broken figures lingering in the fragmentum. What happened back there defied all reason. It was madness. Madam Guardian, if this continues...
I know well the consequences, Japard. You may leave.
We know well the consequences.
Why do you hesitate, Cocolia? Isn't this what you've always been hoping for? Get out of this cage and take a look at the city. What is there to lose? The efforts of our predecessors, their unfinished research. We can finally see them come to fruition. Give me some soldiers and I'll locate the Stellaron and find out how to save our world. You need to come to your senses, Serval. Come to my senses? What are you... Guards! Miss Serval is tired. Take her to rest. Sequester her lab and detain the researchers. Their work is illegal. Why, Cocolia? Why have you grown so cold? Serval Landau, you were my most cherished friend.
There is no place nor place from this new world. The city is drowning in tears. The power of the preservation is fading. We could not defy will of the Stellaron after all. The fragmentum had been expanding for the past 700 years. There is no faith nor wealth left for our successors. Only despair. To see the home we vowed to preserve wither away. That in itself is torture. Not to mention the haunting whisper of temptation. The day will come when even the strongest of wills cannot help but give in to such influence. It is only a matter of time before the Amber Lord forsakes us. You are but a stranger to us. And yet you seek to bond your destiny to ours. So be it. What is there to lose when so much has already been lost? Touch the light of the Amber, Trailblazer. See if your will can attract their gaze.
Can't be.
The will of preservation has made its choice.
You know nothing of the plight of this world. Nothing of the wait for its final end.
Even if we are doomed to destruction, we will go bravely, walking hand in hand into the darkness.
The power of the Stellaron is with me! You are but cinders of the old world, soon to become ashes! Translates into hope! Deceived me. This Stellaron promised us the future. It will enclose everything! It's over.
Mother, did you wake up from that dream?
Wow. That was a tough trailblazing expedition. We made it! But, what are we gonna do with the Stellaron? It's usually Mr. Yang who handles it.
I've informed Himiko and Mr. Yang already. They'll seal the Stellaron.
Nice! The crisis on this world is basically over, right?
The storm still rages on. Now that the Stellaron is sealed, the eternal freeze will slowly recede. Fragmentum won't aggressively expand anymore, but nor will it disappear. Jarilo-VI has a chance to return to life, but it will take time. It It will depend on the efforts of the people here.
Thank you. This victory is only the beginning for Belobog. There is still much to do. The people will have felt the effects of the engine of creation. There are so many questions to answer, so many truths to reveal. I don't know whether I can get the people to accept all this. You mean use a lie to conceal a lie? But if I do that, then...
You have to, Bronya.
Seele...
I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think there's any other way. In the underworld, we tell the kids, things will be better tomorrow. Everyone knows it's a lie, but it gets them to sleep with some hope. Can you imagine the consequences if we told the people what happened here? They'd be devastated. If we can't trust the Guardians, who or what can we trust?
Mother died to preserve Belobog.
What?
The visitors from beyond the sky told her the secret of the Stellaron. She knew that Alyssa Rand, the first Supreme Guardian, had failed to destroy it. And yet, she decided to challenge its power, a power beyond human comprehension. Supreme Guardian Cocolia sacrificed herself to dispel the dark clouds enveloping this city. From here on out, that's the truth the world will hear. What do you think?
It keeps the hope of preservation alive, at least.
For many people, Mother was an outstanding guardian. The whole truth will live on in my mind. All the mistakes, madness, evil, dreams therein. I will be the one to carry that burden. Now, I must take over the duties of the Supreme Guardian and discard my naive fantasies. I'm sorry, Seele. Please, protect this secret with me till the end of our lives.
Say no more. I know what to do.
Thank you. Well then, as promised, let's start rebuilding the bridge between the overworld and the underworld.
So, wanna tell us what happened back there? Don't think you can just reappear on the battlefield with a cool weapon in your hands and skip the story.
She probably doesn't know what happened either. This wouldn't be the first time. Something similar happened when we faced the Doomsday Beast on the space station. Remember that glance from Nanook? Originally, we thought it was because the Stellaron was linked to the destruction. But now it seems to be more than that. We might need to speak with Mr. Yang to understand what's going on.
Whoa! Look at the big blue ceiling!
That's not a ceiling, Hook. That's the sky. So this is the overworld? The air here smells different.
Less rust and geomarrow particles floating around. Take a deep breath, children. This is what freedom tastes like. I never thought I'd live to see the administrative district again. All those years. We've been through a lot, Natasha.
You're right, Oleg.
Enjoy the peace and quiet, Natasha. We earned it.
Welcome back to the administrative district, Trailblazers.
Trailblazers. First time anyone's called us that on this planet.
The architects think it's only right that we should address you properly. Outsiders is hardly fitting anymore. Lady Bronya's inaugural address will begin soon. She asked me to pass on her invitation to you.
People of Belobog, hear me! Today we gather here to celebrate our victory, but it was a sacrifice made by a mighty guardian that delivered us this opportunity. She dispelled an evil that cost us 700 years of suffering, and in the process, she paid the ultimate price. In the far north, I witnessed with my own eyes the struggle between the late Supreme Guardian and the evil power that sought to destroy us. In her last moments, the Supreme Guardian told me her greatest regret. The order to seal off the underworld from the overworld. With the passage of time, she gradually came to realize the consequences of that decision. Although tortured with guilt, she could not undo the damage. In her final moments, she wanted us to mark the Stellaron's end by reuniting Belobog. Overworlders and underworlders must embrace the dawn of a new age. Together, people of the underworld, I dare not ask for your forgiveness. I now know the reality of your decade of suffering. But I want us to work together. We know that without your perseverance and hard work, Belobog will not recover its former glory, and the seed of civilization will not be preserved. And on that note, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to a few guests of the city. Most of you were not aware of their arrival, but it is thanks to them that our world now flourishes with hope. I firmly believe that with the determination of everyone, our world, the world the Trailblazers call Jarilo-VI, will no longer be alone among the stars. But before we accomplish that goal, I humbly ask you to follow me into the future. I, Bronya Rand, the 19th Guardian of Belobog, hereby take my oath.
Lady Bronya! Lady Bronya! Long live Belobog!
That was some speech, Bronya. If I had to talk like that in front of a huge crowd, I'd be shaking head to toe. Don Hung, wanna talk about Mr. Yang's findings?
Allow me to explain.
Which means the fragmentum has already taken root by this point. Even though the Stellaron is sealed, we won't be able to reverse the damage immediately. In that case, as a leader, I must give you a promise of the same weight. We will hold out with everything we have until the day you Trailblazers return. Even if it takes another 700 years, the children of Jarilo-VI will look up to the sky with hope in their hearts. So long, my friends. May the preservation bless your journey.
Time to head back to the Goethe Hotel for a good night's sleep.
We can sleep when we're back on the Express.
Not so fast! Last time we were here, that evil Madam Guardian interrupted us before we'd gotten the most out of our luxury suites. Don't you think we should make up for it? Come on! Himeko and Mr. Yang are grown-ups. I'm sure they'll cope without us for one night.
At the end of your journey, all that perplexes you and troubles you will resolve.
Oh, it was a close thing, all right. Good thing it dawned on me. Hey, Hey, Sampo doesn't have to be a protagonist, right? The likes of us are better suited to, shadowy comic relief, eh? Turns out the Astral Express crew is more fun than I expected. You liked it? Really? Told you so. No! I'm in no hurry to leave. What? Oh, Epsilon? What fun can you get out of a giant Vanity Fair like that? True happiness always entails the manifestation of the dignity of mankind. Now, that's a quote I live by. Well, bye for now. Send my regards to the guys and girls in the tavern. Oh, and don't forget to say that Sampo Kasky will catch them for the next one. Time to make my curtain call. To you, my dear audience, I dedicate my performance. I wonder, did I bring a little more joy into your lives? You don't have to answer that, but if the answer is no, then you'll break my heart.
Morning! How did you sleep? I'm full of energy myself. You poor thing. I'll go check the lunar calendar. Today might be unlucky.
Did you get Himiko's message? It's time to go. The conductor will nag us again if we put the express behind schedule.
Priorities? What do you mean? Are you saying rebuilding the underworld isn't one of your priorities?
Of course not. I'm just saying we have limited assets and we need new parameters.
Assets, parameters. You sure love your fancy words. Ugh, forget it. Leave it to me. I'll go down myself.
Come on, Seela. I won't leave you to—
Look, Branya! There'll be plenty of difficulties waiting for them, right?
Yes. Their future is filled with even more uncertainty than ours. But we will prevail here, even if it means arguments like this go on forever.
They won't go on forever if I win them.
Welcome home, you three.
Himiko, Mr. Yang! Team Trailblaze back from duty. Mission 1 accomplished.
Although Welt and I didn't get the chance to go with you, I can tell you worked hard to bring things back to normal. Well done, everybody. And especially you. I heard a lot of good things about you.
Pom-Pom is of the opinion that we should leave as soon as possible to avoid potential resurgences of the anomalies we experienced earlier. Himiko and I agree.
Which means we need to decide where our next destination is, soon.
That's right.
That's the path of the nameless, I presume. Always on the road, always trailblazing.
About your battle against the Supreme Guardian and the whole Stellaron situation, you must have a lot of unanswered questions, I suppose. While you were away, Welt and I did some research and came to some interesting conclusions. Let me know if you want to ask about anything. Welt may be better equipped to answer that. But if you want my 2 cents, I'd say it's unlikely. I guess it's possible, but it would take a long time. It's virtually impossible to destroy a Stellaron. No one, not even Herta, has found a way to break its structure. The best we can do at this stage is to prevent its energy from overflowing.
Pom-Pom, we're back!
Oh! Welcome back to the Express! You've accomplished your Trailblaze mission. The Express appreciates your help. Thanks to you, the Space Fisher is healing up, and the Star Rail has become stable enough for us to dispatch the Express. The destination will be announced at the navigation meeting. To avoid encountering the anomalies again, the Express will dispatch shortly and head to a more stable area.